Hello everyone, this is Dino Chris from Prehistoric Facts. This is a Q&A episode. We got one person that actually sent in a few questions, so we can get right to it, shall we? So, the questions are from Benjamin from Hong Kong. How come in Jurassic Fight Club Allosaurus was the same size as Saurophaganax? Is Eotyrannus the fastest tyrannosaur before Albertosaurus? And can Ceratosaurus... How come in Jurassic Fight Club Allosaurus was the same size as Saurophaganax? Well, first of all, I think it's probably due to the fact it's because people want to see big dinosaurs. They want to see really big dinosaurs. And so Allosaurus, when you actually think of Allosaurus, it's not that big. It's not that big compared to like T-Rex, Spinosaurus, Carcharodontosaurus, Giganotosaurus, or Saurophaganax, and for that matter. And so they kind of wonder, like, okay, what could we do to actually make sure that Allosaurus could actually be really popular? And so they oversized it. But even though I think there's certain Allosaurus specimens out there that have been known to actually possibly have lengths close to 40 feet, and so that would actually be the case. Is that maybe these Allosaurus specimens are possibly larger than most Allosaurus specimens, or otherwise maybe it's a different kind of species of Allosaurus that is pretty much out there, just hasn't really given its due. And so that really could actually be the cases here, because Allosaurus fragilis is actually the more famous Allosaurus out there, and it's the more constantly pretty decent in size. And then your second question is, Eotyrannus the fastest tyrannosaur before Albertosaurus? It goes, well, Albertosaurus would actually be the fastest large tyrannosaur, where in terms of which one do I think is actually going to be the fastest smaller tyrannosaur, in terms of like small tyrannosaurs like Guanlong, Dilong, Eotyrannus, Zhongguanlong, all those sorts of dinosaurs, or even the newest one, Moros. And so that's really hard to do. But even though the smaller tyrannosaurs would be much faster than the larger tyrannosaurs, because once you get bigger, you are going to get slower. But when you're small, when you're small and slender, you are actually more likely to run much faster. And so pretty much tyrannosaurs, when they started out, they were small, and so they were not on top of the food chain at that particular time in the late Jurassic, and also in the early Cretaceous, is that they were not the top. They were not at the top of the food chain. They were kind of like maybe like fifth in the food chain in terms of carnivores, and so that actually kind of put them in the back seat, pretty much for Tyrannosaur evolution. But even though once the late Cretaceous kind of came around, once the Allosaurus, Carcharodontosaurus, Spinosaurus pretty much disappeared, Tyrannosaurs just began to take on as top predators. But Eotyrannus, I think it would be one of the faster Tyrannosaurs. I can't say for certain. There is not enough study done on a lot of these smaller Tyrannosaurs in terms of speed, but I think they would actually have similar speeds as the Dromaeosaurs, and so that could actually be the case, is that they would actually be similar to Dromaeosaurs in terms of speed. And then your final question, can Ceratosaurus jump onto its prey? Now, if you actually did look at the most recent video before this one, is my extra episode on my visit on the Dinosaur Discovery Museum in Kenosha, Wisconsin. There is a Ceratosaurus skeleton in there, but even though it is a juvenile, not a full-grown adult, and so the juvenile would actually be more of a slender kind of one, but a larger Ceratosaurus, in terms of like, could it jump onto its prey? I would say not much. Really, because I don't think it needs to jump. Because first of all, if you're going to be like a medium-sized theropod, you don't need to jump. You don't need to, because also its feet are not designed to actually dig into the large prey. Because what really Ceratosaurus is designed for is actually designed to actually catch small to medium-sized prey. Occasionally, they will actually go after maybe a dead carcass of, like, say, a Stegosaurus or a sauropod, but in terms of like what kind of animals are they going to actually hunt down when they hunt, there's probably animals that are a little bit faster than them, like Dryosaurus and maybe juvenile animals of like Camptosaurus, even Stegosaurus, and those types of kinds of dinosaurs. Even baby sauropods, for that matter. It could actually take down baby sauropods. But I think Ceratosaurus will not likely jump. I'd say they're not likely to jump, even though they could jump, but it's just that they're not designed to do it. It's like, see, like T-Rex. T-Rex is not designed to jump. It is pretty much designed to go straight forward and make a turn, and that's it. You know, go forward, go make a turn as quickly as you can, and that's it. They don't need to jump, because large theropods don't need to jump. They don't need to. Occasionally they might, especially if they're like tackling something that is larger than them. That I can actually see. Whereas like as something as big as them or otherwise smaller than them, no, they would not do it. So I would say that Ceratosaurus is very highly unlikely to jump, mainly just to ambush its prey. That's all it's going to do. Alright, that's it for now. Now next week would be a special episode, so if you got any, or excuse me, I would actually let you guys know what kind of prehistoric animal I'm going to talk about. I'm actually going to do a marine reptile, so I'll let you guys know what kind of marine reptile I'll talk about. And I think I'm going to do a Triassic one, so I'll think of what kind of Triassic marine reptile I can actually talk about, and I'll let you guys know on Monday. And so keep an eye on that. And you guys can still send me questions about dinosaurs or any other prehistoric life by emailing me at dinochrist71@gmail.com, or just go on my Facebook page, Prehistoric Facts with Dino Chris. Like the page, you get your postal questions on the wall or in the comments section. Remember to keep your questions short and to the point. You can also follow me on Twitter at CSGRALL. It's my Twitter page. I post pretty cool stuff on there. Also, take care of the people around you. Notes for your younger people out there, and make sure you're listening to your parents, teachers, and your guardians. So the best motivation you could have for good education. It's very important to have a good education. With a good education, you get a good job in the future. And right now I'm in the back room of the museum, but the museum is not open right now, and so I just decided to do it in the back room, so that would actually be a much better area for background. And so, but once the museum is back open in June, I'll actually go do a few Q&A episodes in the museum, and so you guys can actually check out some exhibits as well. And so that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next week.